Okay, I had to put the philodendron gigas here behind me for this video because just look at her. I'm obsessed. I extended the pole the other day and yeah, I've just been so in love with this newest leaf here. Absolutely stunning, so she needs to be featured whenever possible. However, this video is not about philodendron. We are talking about Hoya today, specifically variegated Hoya. Recently, I've been really into and really drawn to variegated Hoya, which is kind of different for me. I've been into Hoya for 5 or 6 years now, and I think that I was quite enamored by variegated ones towards the beginning of that when I was first getting into Hoya, and then I quickly became obsessed with silver Hoya, and that's kind of been my jam for the past few years. I love silver Hoya, I love dark Hoya, like crusty dusty looking Hoya, Hoya that's sunstress. However, I haven't really been drawn to or bringing a lot of variegated Hoya into my collection, but recently I have just really been into my variegated Hoya, and I have some that are newer to my collection that have really been stealing my heart, so I wanted to make a video just featuring my favorite variegated Hoya so that we can talk about them, drool over them together. Maybe you will add to your wish list, I don't know, I'm sorry if you do. If I had to choose the mothership of variegated Hoya, like the one that I think is the prettiest in my collection, I think that I would have to go with, and y'all won't be surprised by this because I know a lot of you will agree with me and I get a lot of comments about this plant in my collection, but this is my Hoya heuschkeliana inner variegated, and I've actually had this for several years now, and it has been one of the easiest Hoya in my collection, and I get a lot of questions on how to care for it, and I feel like I just don't have good advice because this plant must just have amazing genetics because it grows so incredibly easy for me even when I neglect it. So what makes this plant special is obviously the incredible foliage. It looks like a watercolor painting. These leaves are just so beautiful, super variegated. Like a lot of these leaves are almost entirely like a creamy minty green with just a touch of darker green around the outside of the leaf, which you would think would make it difficult, but like I said, I've just had such an easy time with this plant, so I absolutely have to recommend it as a top contender. Something else that I really love about this plant, and I wish that I had more leaves to show you right now, but the new growth is super pink, and you can see some of them right here. But these ones are almost fully, you know, formed by now. When they're really small, they start off like hot pink, and then they get bigger and they slowly turn to green. So when you have a lot of new growth coming in on this, you have a lot of pink foliage, and it's just beautiful. I guess this one is just, I don't know, she's not going too crazy with new growth right now. There is some down here as well, but yeah, they're not super pink. And obviously the more light you provide this, the more pink tinged the leaves are gonna look. Even though this is so variegated, I don't think that it needs to be blasted with light how you might think it needs to be. For a while I was growing this just under my TV here. If y'all remember when it was on the shelf there, I can probably find a photo that I'll throw on screen, but it really wasn't getting a ton of light there and it still grew great. So I don't know, like I said, she's just so easygoing. I don't know if it's just me. Let me know your experience with this plant if you also have one, but I just think that it's such an incredible Hoya. This one actually has blooms coming in, but the blooms aren't typically what this plant is grown for because they're just like little baby, I don't know, round little balloon kind of looking blooms. They are cute though, they're pink, I like them, but I will say that this one it's definitely like the foliage that steals the show here, which is great because you don't have to wait for this Hoya to bloom to really appreciate it. I've grown this inside my Millsbow cabinet. It did great. I took it out. I was super nervous to take it out because I was like, maybe that's why I've had such good luck because it's always lived in a cabinet. But I took it out. It lived on my south window for a while. It did great there also. And then I moved it near the TV, like I said. And now it is currently living on my plant wall in a Wally Grow planter. It's just potted in a clear pot, but eventually I'll probably directly pot it into the Wally Grow. But it's done great in all the different spots that I've had it in. And yeah, I just love her so much. I think that this is just like the queen of variegated Hoya. It is so incredibly beautiful. So yeah, that has to be my first pick that I share with you, because if there's one plant that you need to put on your radar if you're looking for a variegated Hoya, I feel like this is the one. Okay, so one that is newer to my collection that I am just in love with is the Hoya argentea princess. And what makes this one different than any other variegated Hoya in my collection is that it is a silver variegated Hoya, so it's very minty looking. You have this light, honestly it almost leans blue, like it's a very cool tone green, and then you have that really light mint green in the center of the leaf. And oh my goodness, you guys, this one is just, it's breathtaking. Like the colors on the leaves is just otherworldly, honestly. I feel like this is such a special Hoya. These were really hard to get and rare and expensive for a while there. They're becoming more available now, which is really great, because I feel like a lot of people have had these on their wish list over the past few years, and everyone deserves to have this in their collection because it really is just that special. This is basically like a mint version of the Hoya Crimson Princess, which I have had in the past, and I love the Crimson Princess. Honestly, we're gonna talk about the Crimson Queen eventually. You already know, my regular viewers already know that she's gonna be in this video because that's one of my favorite Hoya. I think that those are amazing plants, and you can find them so cheap just at a big box store. But yeah, the Argentea Princess, like it really is just something incredible. This is a new leaf that's coming in. It's still baby. Also, this plant is fuzzy and it's like matte looking. Like it just has the most interesting traits. I will say that mine is pretty slow growing, but who knows, that could be because of me as well. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this plant. Am I gonna trellis it? Am I like, I don't really know what the plan is. She's just in this Tupperware, as you can see. This came to me as a cutting from a lovely, lovely viewer, which I'm so grateful for. I actually have an unboxing where I got just some amazing Hoyas, so I'll link that if you're interested. I think I got them last year at some point. Yeah, last fall. I remember I was sick when I received them, and it was just like a pick-me-up. It healed me to unbox these Hoya. But anyways, this came to me as a cutting. It took a long time to grow, like a long time, but it was worth the wait, obviously, because now she's turning into a little baby plant here. Anyways, this is just an amazing plant, and it obviously had to make it onto my list because this is one of my favorite Hoya, and it combines silver with variegation. So what more could you ask for, honestly? On the same sentiment as what more could you ask for, Hoya polyneura. She is already an iconic, stunning Hoya, a classic. I've had my green one. It was one of my first Hoya that I brought into my collection actually in like 2019, 2020. And it has become one of my ultimate top favorite Hoya. So it's amazing in its green form. Of course, I wanted to try out the variegated ones, and I'm obsessed with them. So we have the outer variegated. I feel like the lighting is better to show them on this side. I don't know. This is my outer variegated one. She's a little wet because she just had a shower. It's a shower week for the plants. We have new beneficials coming in soon, so everyone's getting a shower. But yeah, she's just beautiful. Like, oh my gosh, looking at the leaves, oh my goodness. Like, the combination of just the flowy, beautiful, draping, elegant leaves that the polyneura has to offer in combination with variegation, it's just incredible. The polyneura is a Hoya that doesn't love to be blasted by light. I grow my green one in fairly low light conditions. And this one, the same thing, like it's under grow light, but it's far, so it's not getting super bright light. And why I like to do that is so that we get the combination of a dark green with the variegation. Because if I gave this too much light, the green would be a lot lighter. Look at these leaves up here. Oh my goodness. So heavy on the variegation, like they're just incredible. And I've found this to be really easygoing, just like my regular green polyneura. It's propagated super easily. I've cut this up a couple of times and added all the cuttings in because I want this to be a nice big lush pot just like my green one. So that's why I have a lot of different vines that are kind of coming out everywhere. She is in like an intermediate stage where, okay, she's an established plant, but I really want to just increase the lushness, if you will. So yeah, stunning. I will say I've never had a polyneura bloom, probably because I prefer to keep them in lower light conditions. I really do just love the foliage. However, hopefully one of them will bless me with a bloom one day. We'll see. But yeah, I just love this one so much. Absolutely stunning. And you know, I've seen these put out all variegated leaves for people, which on Hoya, those don't last for, well, on any plant, they don't last forever, but on Hoya, they do stay for quite a while, so it's nice to appreciate them while they're there. And I, of course, also have to show my newest addition to the polyneura family, which is this inner variegated one right here. This is just a bay. I just got this actually from another viewer, a different viewer than the last one, which is so nice. And I recently potted this up into mollies, so this is a very, you know, new young plant to my collection, but it has put out a set of new leaves there, if this will focus. So I was so happy to see that. I just know that this is going to be an incredible plant because when I see photos of full pots of this inner variegated Hoya, it is just, it's something. So yeah, I'm so excited to have this, so happy to have it, and I can't wait to grow it out. But yeah, obviously I haven't had this one for very long, but I already know it's going to be a favorite because how could it not be? Like, it's so beautiful. And yeah, I'm just really excited about this one. So just giving that one a little shout out. Okay, a kind of unexpected Hoya love for me is this Hoya burtoniae. Oh no, it's just, okay, I thought we had a mealy situation, which wouldn't surprise me, but I think that this is just, you know how Hoyas sometimes have that like flaky stuff on them? I think that that's all it is. Anywho, Hoya burtoniae, I don't know, inner variegated. This is one that I wanted because I had a feeling I would love it, but it still has taken me by surprise just how much I love it. As you can see, mine isn't very big, but I can honestly see this being one of my top favorite plants as it continues to grow out because I'm already just obsessed. This is actually the plant that inspired me to make this video because I've been so just in love with it lately. So it has a lot of things that I like. So this has a fuzzy leaf. It is matte. It's inner variegated, so we get a ton of variegation. This is pink when the new leaves are coming in, especially if you give it higher light. These are the newest leaves that mine has, but you know, they've been here for a while, and this isn't actually getting a ton of light right now, so they didn't color up like crazy, but I have seen this put out really like hot pink new leaves, which is beautiful, and it trails. And it has pink blooms. So like truly, what more could you want? And these are popping up at big box stores, so you can find them for like $5 right now, which doesn't hurt either. Now, as this one was getting established for me, I had it living inside my greenhouse cabinet, but now for the past couple of months, it's been living out, just getting like low to medium natural light, and my room humidity is around 50%, and it's been doing fine. So I would say it's pretty easy going. I think that these can be really fast growing as well. I should be giving this maybe a little bit more light, so I might move this eventually, but I've just been kind of appreciating having it on this shelf behind me. So yeah, I just had to feature this one because I do think that it is just one of the nicest variegated plants. Like, yeah, it's just gorgeous, and it's so fuzzy, y'all. I just love that so much. I love a fuzzy plant, so yeah, stunning. Really excited to see this one fill out more. Oh yeah, and I did want to compare because this almost has a similar look to the heuschkeliana, so I wanted to just compare in case anyone is curious between the two. I'm trying to get my big head out of the way here. The heuschkeliana definitely has a bit of a smaller leaf. They're both matte, but the heuschkeliana isn't fuzzy. It's a smooth leaf. This one is fuzzy. I think that there's more, like this heuschkeliana has more of a watercolor kind of look in terms of, you know, different patterns on the leaves. And yeah, they both get pink though. They're both easygoing. I love them both so much. I do think if you're just looking for striking variegation, go with the heuschkeliana. But if you like the idea of fuzzy leaves and maybe a bit of a prettier flower, maybe the burtoniae. Anywho, I don't know if that's helpful to anyone, but I think it's kind of cool to see maybe similar plants side by side. Okay, next, this is another one that kind of took me by surprise. This is a Hoya lacunosa inner variegated. Now, I don't have a ton of lacunosa in my collection. I know that a lot of people collect the different varieties of them because there's so many different types of lacunosa, and even variegated ones, there's different varieties out there. I have the lacunosa mint coin, and I think that's it. So yeah, I guess I just wasn't a huge lacunosa girl, but this one has really put lacunosa on the radar for me because I love the variegation of this, and I love the leaf shape and the I guess like texture or veining. I don't even know what to call it. Like the yeah, I guess texture. I don't know, just the leaves. I really like the leaves. A lot of the Hoya that I've shown so far have like a smooth, they don't really have a lot going on in terms of veining or texture, but this one has a really interesting look to it. I've been growing this out from a cutting as well in my cabinet, and it's honestly just recently kind of started growing for me and catching my attention, especially these leaves right here. Like, this is just such a pretty plant, and again we get the pink. That's just one of the best parts about variegated Hoya, is getting the pink color on the new leaves. Like, it's just so pretty. This one also features a blend of different colors, so you have different tones of green, you have a different variegation pattern on each leaf, and this is a plant that I am anticipating to trail beautifully, or I could put it on a trellis. We'll see what I end up doing. But yeah, I just think that this is so cute. It's been super easy going. I think that I need to water a little bit more frequently. It's like bone dry right now. I think that that's what's holding it back from really starting to grow out for me. So that is something that I need to get on top of. But yeah, she's just so cute, and this is one, like I said, that's just been catching my eye a lot recently, and also that has helped to inspire this video because, like I said, I just wasn't a huge variegated Hoya person, but some of these newer ones to my collection that are starting to grow out now have just been, I've been enraptured by them. So yeah, so cute, and I can't wait to update y'all as this continues to grow out because I think it's going to be a really special plant. Okay, so this is not a good example of this plant, and if you've watched my recent videos, then you've probably seen me pot this up, but this is my Hoya Bella inner variegated. Now, this used to be a lot bigger, but I am regrowing this out from a cutting in leca for the first time, which is going to be an interesting experiment, but I just had to include this Hoya on here because it's one I've had for years, and I really prefer this one versus the outer variegated Hoya Bella. Y'all let me know which one you prefer. When this looks healthy and it's grown well, I feel like Kevin from Hakuna La Planta has a really good one, but when this is grown well, it's just like one of the most breathtaking Hoya. So this is kind of on the list, not for mine specifically, although hopefully this one does end up, you know, settling in here and growing out for me nicely. But just Hoya Bella inner variegated in general is such an incredible Hoya, and Hoya Bella is a beautiful blooming Hoya also. They will bless you with a ton of cute white and pink flowers. The Bella, just the regular green one, was actually the first Hoya that ever bloomed for me, so it holds a special place in my heart. But yeah, I don't know, I love this one so much, and we'll see how mine ends up doing, hopefully well, because I need to have just like a full lush plant of this again. The Hoya Bella is notoriously a thirstier Hoya, just so you know. That's why I'm trying semi-hydro for this one, and they also can attract spider mites, so they can require a little bit of extra attention compared to some of the other Hoya, but I do think it's worth it. Okay, so next we're going to talk about Hoya Lori Lynn. Now, this one is kind of newer to my collection as well, and we got off to a bit of a rough start because I rotted this and then I had to reroot it in water, and then I potted it up and it didn't do anything for a long time, but it has started growing for me. And as soon as it put out new leaves, I was like, okay, I know that I'm gonna be in love with this Hoya. I think that this is the newest leaf here. You can see some of that pink tinge, but again, it will look a lot more pink as the leaves are new and as you provide it with higher light. This is another Hoya that has that stunning contrast of creamy variegation with a touch of pink and dark green foliage, but this one's kind of different because we have a longer leaf here, which is really pretty. And like, oh my goodness, these all white, there's an all white leaf that's been on here for a long time, like months and months and months, and then these ones are almost all white. Like, it seems to really I mean, with variegated plants, you get a slightly different leaf, or every leaf is slightly different, but these ones, I feel like it's a pretty big variety. Like, we have the amount of variegation varies so much between all of the leaves, and I just think that it creates such a stunning plant. So again, this is one I think that I'm underwatering. My cabinet, the plants have been fighting for their lives in there lately because it's been hot. So yeah, I really need to probably double my waterings in there, to be honest with you. So I'm sure that I'm gonna get some nice new growth when I get on top of that. But yeah, this one is just, I don't know, it's so stunning. So I had to feature it because, again, and lots of these plants, or yeah, like half the plants that I've shown you, these smaller ones at least, have all lived in my Millsbow for a while, and they were all just kind of started growing at once. And I think that that is what made me start falling in love with the variegated Hoya again. So yeah, this one's stunning, and it has to be on the list because look at her. Look at her. Okay, and then lastly, I do have to show y'all my Crimson Queen because she is the queen of my Hoya collection. She's massive. She hangs in a like covered south window, so she doesn't get like direct light. But yeah, she's incredible. I've had her for 5 or 6 years now. She bloomed for the first time last year, which was amazing. And she's already bloomed once this year, and she has another set of flowers that are currently coming in. So she's very large. I'm gonna go grab her and show you what she's looking like. Okay, I actually haven't had her down in a hot minute, but here she is. Do we have some pink leaves over there? I can't see, or are they just dead leaves? She does need a good cleanup. Like I said, I haven't taken her down in a while. Ooh, yeah, look at that pink. Oh my goodness. This is what I mean with variegated Hoya. They can give you such pink leaves, and the Crimson Queen especially, like, she gives out beautiful pink tinged leaves when they're new. And she also gives me a lot of all white leaves, and like I said, they stay for a while. Like, they will be here probably for months, and then eventually they will die off. But I think that's pretty good. Like, they have pretty good lasting power, and it just adds such a beautiful pop. Ooh. Okay, excuse her. She, like I said, she hasn't been pruned in a while. But yeah, you can't beat this plant. Uh-oh, my memory card is flashing. Just a sec. Okay, I actually think that it might be easier to show you from behind the camera so that we can get a good view of her. But yeah, just an incredible plant. This is like the OG Hoya of my collection. I mean, this one and the compacta and the linearis, and I am due for a yearly Hoya collection update soon, so I am gonna be doing that probably in the next month or so. But yeah, the OGs know that this is just the queen of the Hoyas in my home. She's just amazing. And like I said, she has been blooming for me now. She took a long time to bloom, like 5 years, but she did eventually bloom last year after I repotted her, actually. So that was an interesting observation. But yeah, and look, even like the stems, do you see the pink? Like, just such a beautiful plant. And this is one that, you know, you can find this at the big box store. You can honestly probably find free cuttings in your local houseplant group because this is such a common plant and they just grow like crazy. This is the progress on her current blooms that are coming in. She just finished with a different set and they're absolutely stunning. That's something else that is just unbeatable about this plant. I love Carnosa variety blooms. These ones have like a pink tinge to them when they come in. They're so, so pretty. And I'm hoping that as this plant, you know, gets more and more mature, she will end up just being covered in blooms during the spring/summer. So yeah, anyways, that's one of my favorite plants in my collection, and she's just immaculate. Like the pink vines. How cute is that? Oh my goodness, look at this. Like, she is just so, so pretty. Okay, oh my goodness, all of her dried blooms. I should have taken them off before I moved her because they're all on the floor now. Anywho, that is going to be it for my variegated Hoya, my favorite variegated Hoya. I do have some other ones in my collection, but I was just trying to pick out the ones that I highly recommend. I do also have a lot of other variegated Hoya that I love that I don't currently own, so I'm thinking of doing another video where I kind of just share some that are on my radar. I don't want to say wish list because I'm trying not to have like an active current wish list, but I think it's fun to just talk about them and drool over them, and I love hearing your opinions on all of the plants mentioned as well, so I'll probably do that as just a little part 2 follow-up on this. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll chat with you in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!